We're live.
Okay, how many people do we have?
None yet.
I think Amul, it takes a while to show up.
Yeah, I can't see it on mine.
But we are live, right? Okay, we'll start. I think people will join as they go.
Okay, yeah. It's now there are like 30 people live showing.
Okay. Good morning and actually good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock. Namaste. And Amul, thank you very much for having me back on the show to cook another dish for you. Last time, if you recall, I made some cheesy bread pakoras and a gulab jamun parfait because it was Diwali season. So today I'm making more of a main dish for you, and it's a continental dish this time. Desi khana nahi hai. I'm making a cheesy pasta dish. And what I'm going to be doing is I have some rigatoni pasta, which is large rigatoni. I'll show you in a minute. And I'm going to be stuffing it with some vegetables and cheese. And then I'll put a cheese sauce on top and then more cheese on it. So this is a really heavy, cheesy dish, but very, very delightful and very yummy. And it uses a lot of Amul products. As you can see, as usual, I have my display here with all the Amul products that we love at home. Most used in our house, of course, is milk, chocolate, and cheese. Personally, I like to drink buttermilk. I drink that all the time. Amulka is excellent buttermilk. And we have 4 different kinds of cheese. Last time I told you Amul makes Gouda cheese. That's one of my favorite. It's a Dutch cheese, but you know Amul makes it over here, so they're diversifying their products. And so this, I'll start cooking for you now, and the detailed recipe of this dish can be found on my YouTube channel, The Chefpreneur. You can see I have the logo on my apron as well in case you forget, but also the description. I have mentioned the link in the description, so do click on that link and subscribe to our channel to support us. So let's get started. Very simple. The first step I'm going to do here for you is I have some aloo here, potatoes, and these are just, they've been mashed, just mashed and kept. And then I have some peppers, and these are capsicum or bell peppers. I have different colors. I have green, orange. You can use whatever you want. Now the beauty of this dish is you can use whatever your favorite vegetables are. You can use potato, capsicum, bangan, carrot, anything that you want to stuff inside pasta is good. Okay. So for my first step, I'll make my mixture for stuffing. So for that, I have some potatoes over here, and I'm only making 3 or 4 right now. So you will see, I'll use about that much. I think that should be good. You will see that, you can make as much as you want, just increase the quantity of the stuffing, that's it. And then it's maybe put some peppers. And I can use a spoon, but there's nothing like using your hands. When you use your hands, dish always tastes better. So I put some of that. And this is fresh parsley. If you don't have fresh parsley, you can always use, powdered or dried parsley. Like this, I have some basil that's dried. I don't have fresh basil today. So I'm putting some basil in here. About ½ teaspoon. And also parsley flakes. So these are parsley flakes. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. And if there's any questions, please do ask. I'll try and answer as I'm mixing this. So I put ½ teaspoon of parsley and ½ teaspoon of basil leaves. And this is paprika. If you don't have paprika and you want it a little spicier, then you can just add red chili powder. Kashmiri red chili powder or degi mirch powder. It also works just fine. But I'm making this for the children and they don't like it too spicy. So thoda sa, just about ¼ teaspoon of paprika. So now comes my favorite part. So I have cheeses. This is ricotta cheese. Now this ricotta cheese has actually been made with Amul milk. So I took Amul milk and then we of course curdled it and then made the cheese. And I said I made the cheese. That's actually incorrect. My wife made the cheese. So if you go on our YouTube channel, she'll show you how to make this ricotta cheese as well. And this is again cream cheese, also made by Anu, my wife. And that we put a little bit. That's probably too much. So thoda sa, maybe that much in there should be good. Okay, so we have, let me get it out. Questions?
Name of the dish.
This is a cheesy stuffed ricotta is the name of the dish. Thank you for the question. Okay, and then now we want to put a little bit of salt in it, and you put salt to taste, and for this much quantity about half teaspoon salt should be more than enough. So I'll put some salt and finally some pepper. Pepper gives it a nice little kick. Now again, this mixing also I recommend doing by hand. You can use a spoon or a whisk, but you will get the best consistency if you mix by hand. So let's get mixing. And you can see these potatoes, they're not fully mashed like mashed potatoes. Thoda crumbly hona chahiye, so you can taste that texture inside. And none of this has to be, the bell peppers don't have to be cooked. You just fresh cut them. Bell peppers yani ki capsicum. So we just make a nice mixture like this. Give it a quick mix. Make sure everything is mixed together. It doesn't have to be a nice smooth paste. We're all going to stuff it and eat it all together anyway. I think that is good. So now for my next step, what I have here is some big fat rigatoni. And if you don't have this, don't worry. You can make this dish as layers also, like a lasagna. You can use penne pasta, small rigatoni, whatever you have, you can use. So it's not a requirement to have this. I've already boiled this pasta, and it's boiled in salt water and oil. So when you bring the water to a boil first, with oil and salt, and after it is boiled, you make sure that you cook it only about 90%, okay? Not more than 90%, because it's going to cook now in the oven again. So we don't want it fully cooked. It'll become mushy and it'll fall apart. So before I do this, because this is a time restricted show, I've already assembled my final dish here. I'll show you, of course, how to get to this stage. I'm going to put this in my oven so it starts cooking. Chali, that's done. So let's get to stuffing. I have another dish like the one I just put in the oven. I have one more over here. Make some plates. And before I do that, my final step, I want to add some more cheese. Now, if you have eaten pizza, in restaurants, then there's a pizza in these finer Italian restaurants called quattro formaggio. So quattro formaggio means 4 cheeses, 4 different kinds of cheeses. And today I'm actually making a 5 formaggio, Sanco formaggio, which is going to go one step beyond just the 4 cheeses. So if you remember, I've already put ricotta cheese and cream cheese in here. So this is Amul Gouda cheese, the one that is a little more yellow. That's the Gouda cheese over here. And this is just regular Amul jo cube aata hai na, jo bachpan mein khate the, those little cubes. So that's that cheese over there. And we will take take a little bit of this and also add this in here. Don't use all. We are going to add some on top on the layer. I'll show you in a minute. Okay. So I will take a little bit of my cheese. Put that in there. This is Gouda. It's a nice sharp flavored cheese, which is very, very yummy. And of course, our regular Amul cheese, you can put as much as little. You can't go wrong with that. So now that that's in there, I think our mixture is ready. Again, we give it one quick stir. So माफ कीजिए, मैं ज़रा अंग्रेज़ी में बोल रहा हूँ और हिंदी में भी बोल रहा हूँ. I'm mixing the two because last time I got some feedback saying, please speak in only English. Some said speak only in Hindi. So I'm trying to do a little bit of both for you today. Okay, this is ready. So now pasta, after it's cooked 90%, put it in cold water. If you keep it in the hot water, it will continue to cook and become mushy. So you can see now these are still firm. So you just drain a little water from that, and we will take and stuff gently. Don't push too hard. If you push it too hard, that pasta might break. So just pushing it, you can see I put it inside my tube there. So any kind of tube pasta, lasagna sheets. If you have lasagna sheets, you put one sheet down, put some of this paste on top, some cheese, some sauce, and that's it. It's very simple. Okay.
Can we add carrot, beans, and corns?
Yes, of course. Actually, if you ask me, since I'm making this for children, I'm making non-spicy, but I love putting carrots, broccoli, capsicum, corn of course, and thoda sa green chili. If you add a little green chili, you chop it fine, then it gives it a nice kick as well. Today आज मैंने use कर रहा हूँ green chili because बच्चों के लिए बना रहा हूँ.
What's the closest to ricotta in Indian dishes?
Paneer. If you don't have ricotta, good question, thank you. And if you don't have ricotta cheese, actually, like I said, it's if you go to my YouTube channel, the Chefpreneur over here, and type in YouTube, or look at the description of this show, where it says day 241, etc. On the bottom, there's my YouTube link. The recipe for ricotta is already there, and you can just follow. Very easy to make. But if you don't want to spend the time to make ricotta at home and you don't find it easily, then I recommend you use paneer. Take paneer, crumble it. जैसे पनीर की भुर्जी बनाते हैं ना, same thing. That will essentially have the same texture as ricotta cheese and almost the same flavor too. Any other questions?
What company is your pan?
This pan? Oh, okay. So you're talking about this steel pan here.
I think so.
Okay, so let me answer for this. If it's another one, please ask the question again. I bought it from the US from a company called Calphalon. They make excellent steelware products. So I've had this for 5 years now, and it's still as good as the day it was new. And these are a little expensive, but I believe that kitchen equipment, if you spend the money and be kind to it, then it'll be kind to you. And this pot over here, if you're asking about this pot, that is also from Calphalon, the same brand. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. This is Calphalon. This actually was a gift from a local company. In fact, their label is still there. It's a local company called Kaviraj in Bangalore. I don't know if they sell outside of Bangalore, but Kaviraj in Bangalore sent this as a gift, as an appreciation gift for a talk show I did on another FB channel called the Talent Networking Group. I did a live show over there. Okay? So now you can see I have my pasta that is being stuffed. So this step is done, and give me one moment. मैं हाथ साफ करके I'll be right back. Any other questions in the meantime, you can tell me. Any more questions? For now?
Can you spell it, please? I think the company.
Calphalon or Kaviraj? I'll spell both for you. So, in fact, this I can just show you. It says Kaviraj, Kaviraj, and that's an Indian brand. And this one is Calphalon. I don't see their logo here, but it is spelled Calphalon. Calphalon. Okay. Any more questions?
The difference between cheese cultures and enzymes.
Difference between?
The difference between cheese cultures and enzymes, and if you use them while making the cheese.
So no enzymes are used. This is fresh cheese. If you use enzymes or processing agents, the cheeses will last longer, but then you have processing agents you've added to it. These are cheeses that are made exclusively by my wife. I'm not the expert on cheeses, she is. But I think if you go to our YouTube channel again, the Chefpreneur, she explains how she's made the cheese without enzymes. So next step, okay, before I make my next step, what I have here is a vegetable stock. I've made this at home. I've just put carrots, beans, potato, and a little bit of spices. You can put whatever spices you want. I put black pepper, some garlic, and star anise. Okay, those are them, and some cinnamon, also dalchini. And you boil it, and then you strain it, and you get a stock like this. This is just for flavoring. And now I'm going to make my white sauce and let my pan heat up a little bit. So this white sauce I'm making for you, it starts with a little mixture called a roux, and roux is R-O-U-X. It's a French cooking method, and it's a base for a lot of the French sauces. So basically you take flour and butter, and flour meaning maida, just regular maida, like that. And butter, of course, we take some Amul butter, which is the only butter we use at home. So we have those two. You mix it up and you stir well, and you keep adding liquid to it. You can add milk, you can add, I'm going to be adding this vegetable stock today and to make it a nice sauce. And then after that's done, we'll add some more cream to it, and we'll also add a little bit of cheese. So when you do that, it becomes a nice cheesy sauce. So for that, let me put some butter in my pan. Any more questions in the meantime? This might take a minute or two to heat up.
None.
No questions? Okay. And here I'm putting this is about 2 tablespoons approximately, okay, of butter. It doesn't have to be exact, and make sure you keep your stove, if you have a gas, put it on medium, and I have of course an induction top, so I have it on my medium setting. And to this we will add some flour, maida, and equal quantity, so about 2 tablespoons of each. So this is a teaspoon, so I'm putting about 3 of them. So once you put that in, you want to keep stirring, and it will make a mixture that's a slightly thick, and it will look like initially like this, like it's not going to become smooth, but don't worry, it will. So as I keep stirring it, I'm going to add some liquid to it. So this is my vegetable stock, and don't add all at once, add little at a time so we get the right consistency. So you can see how it's becoming a nice paste. Now we keep adding more. And I'm giving this a stir because all my masala is in the bottom. A little bit more. Then we mix it again. And again, like I said, don't worry what it looks like now. It will, trust me, become a nice even sauce. And use a whisk or a spoon, doesn't matter. Just keep stirring it. See, all my lumps, I'm just showing you a closer look. All my lumps are going away. And you want to make sure all the lumps are gone. So you keep on whisking, whisking, whisking away. And you'll see that the lumps will eventually disappear from the sauce. So, and the beauty of this is a nice thick sauce. Now normally for the roux, you actually don't put your liquid in so early. You put the flour and the butter and you roast it till it's brown. You get a nice brown texture. But I'm making a white cheesy sauce, so I don't want a brown color today. Putting a little bit more of my stock, and we'll mix it some more. My pan is hot, so I'm turning my heat off right now, because we don't need to heat this anymore. And look at my sauce now, you can see it's nice, it's creamy, and there are no lumps in it also. So now what I'll do is I'm going to add some cream. This is Amul cream, which I just opened the box today. So I'm just adding that to it. And you add the cream after you have turned off the heat, not before that. Any more questions for now?
They're saying no questions because enjoying very much.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So let me mix this and let me go check on my previous dish I put in the oven so it doesn't burn, right? Oh, that's looking beautiful, and I think we can turn the oven off. Don't worry, I will show it to them later when it's done. So back to my sauce here, you can see I have a nice creamy sauce. Now, same 2 cheeses, Gouda and my regular Amul processed cheese, a little bit of each. Thoda sa I'm leaving for the topping later, like I told you. Thoda sa nahi, I'll leave quite a bit for the topping later. The more you put, the tastier it is. So now this will become a nice cheesy sauce. The cheese melts in the heat, so you don't have to have your heat on at this point, okay? So let me mix, and you can see those lumps there, those lumps are just cheese. When you put it in the oven, all of that will melt anyway. You saw we had a nice smooth sauce, and now it looks a little lumpy, not much, but even in this much heat, as you can see, it's already becoming smooth and cheesy. So look at my consistency here, nice and thick and gooey. That's what you want. So ठीक है, ये अपना sauce बन गया. Now we are ready for the final assembly stage. I'll just move this here and I'll bring this. Be careful, this is hot, so I'm not keeping it there. So this, which I showed you, my pasta with a stuffing, a vegetable of your choice. Today I've used aloo and bell peppers and thoda sa parsley. But you can use, again, anything. Corn, you want, actually corn would have been a great idea even in this. It would have gone very well. But now all I do is I take my cheese mixture, okay? So you can see my cheesy sauce and consistency. It should be pouring consistency, not thin but not too thick either. If it doesn't pour, it's not right. So, and you can see my cheese is already melted. It's back to a super smooth, silky looking white sauce. And this same white sauce you can use for pasta, for mac and cheese, many other dishes. And you know, if I have enough comments from people and they want to see a mac and cheese, I'll make mac and cheese for you next time. And I'll make it an interesting way. I'll put a spin on it for you. Okay? So let me pour the sauce now. And you can put as little or as much as you want. The more you put, the cheesier it will be, obviously, the tastier it will be. So I'm putting a lot. And everything is coated, you can see that. That should be enough. I have some extra sauce, which means my kids will have maybe Alfredo sauce or a pasta with that tonight. So that's done. Now let's dress this a little bit, make it look a little pretty also. So what we do is take our remaining bell peppers, put it on there, and these will roast. So it'll give a nice roasted flavor to these peppers also when it's done. And then, of course, the best part, put cheese. This is again my regular Amul processed cheese. And you put more of that and a little less of the Gouda. But, my dear friends, I'm not done yet. And I said cheesy dish, this is going to be a seriously cheesy dish. So, I'm done with that cheese. Now I also have over here on my plate an Amul cheese slice, which has been sitting here, so it's become little things. So don't worry, anyway we're going to tear it in pieces. So you just tear a few pieces of that, put that on there. Beautiful. I really hope the audience today is a cheese lovers audience, because this dish is about as cheesy as you can make anything. Okay, why not? Well, let's finish this off. The cheesier the better, right? Okay, excellent. So that's done. And then the last thing I'll put here before it goes in the oven is a little more paprika. For no reason other than it gives a nice color. So the dish coming out will end up looking pretty. That's it. So this is my dish. Now this, what you want to do is you bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees centigrade. Okay, and keep watching it. You want it done but not burnt. So I have to save time, obviously I put another one exactly like this in the oven. Let me take it out and show you what the final dish looks like. I need my little handy gloves for that. Okay, that's looking perfect. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling over there, but it's definitely sizzling and completely cheesy over here, right? So put this off. And of course, it's not a chefy dish. It's very hot, huh? Be careful. So it's not a chefy dish until you dress it up and make it look a little pretty, right? So let's do that. You put some fresh peppers on top. And can you see the cheese bubbling? Get a closer look, Amara, get closer. So people can see that it's still bubbling. And this is a dish that be careful eating, because it is, cheese gets very, very hot, right? It can burn your tongue, and it is hot inside and out. So even the stuffing inside, because they put cheese in it and aloo, both of them retain a lot of heat. So be very, very careful, please, while consuming, especially if you're giving it to the children. Make sure that it is cooled down a little bit, but still gooey and cheesy. Okay, and then we'll put some fresh parsley on top, thoda sa bilkul, and we are done. So this is my cheesy gooey pasta and cheesy gooey rigatoni in this case. So let me use a spoon and I'm not going to take it out. Chalo, I can take it out for you. So I'll take one out and show you what it looks like. Okay, now you can see that cheesy, gooey, inside is all cooked, and it's absolutely beautiful. I would love to do a taste test for you, but I'll burn my mouth right now. We'll have to wait for about 10-15 minutes for this to cool, and then of course we'll do a taste test on it. Any questions anybody has? If not, thank you so much, Amul, and thank you so much, audience. Really appreciate you joining me today for this very interesting dish. And also, once again, just to remind you, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have over 100 videos on different dishes that use cheeses. We have North Indian dishes, Southern dishes, Asian dishes, continental dishes, and other stuff, cheeses, breads, things like that, and a lot of beautiful cakes that my daughter, who's behind the camera right now, say hi, Amara.
Hi.
And my wife, both of them make together. Any questions? Maybe a minute or so, otherwise.
No questions. Oh, can you do it in the microwave? Can you bake it in the microwave?
If you have a convection oven, then yes. Microwave you will not. You can. The cheese will melt, but that baked effect, where the pasta gets slightly crunchy, or not crunchy but crusty, that will not be there. But the cheese will definitely melt in the microwave also. I would suggest no more than 1.5 minutes in the microwave if you're doing that. But ideally in an oven or convection oven or an OTG, any of those devices, I'm sure one of those you will have at home, so it'll work.
Someone's asking for the channel name.
The channel name is The Chefpreneur. If you go right at the beginning, there is in the description of this live, I've actually put the link as well, so you can just click on the link, The Chefpreneur. Otherwise, just go to YouTube and type The Chefpreneur. Amara, you want to get a closer look at this? So if you can see the name, it's The and then The Chefpreneur. If you type this in YouTube, you will see our channel up there. And thank you for the question, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Any other questions?
A lot of people are asking the channel name.
Okay, The Chefpreneur. Thank you so much for asking. It's called The Chefpreneur. And please again, one more time, go back to the description where it says day 41, Varun Vijay Rao, etc. At the bottom of the text over there, I've actually pasted the link. What I'll do after this live show is also I'll paste the link again, and you can then look at it. So since there are some questions, maybe I can taste it now.
They want you to cut it and show us
let me cut it.
how it.
I'll use this knife. I have a butter knife, so we'll just cut it for you. So if you look at that, I'm cutting it off. And you got the cheesy top, nice and gooey. I'm just spreading it out on place. This is not how you should eat it. I'm just showing you what it looks like. So, and as you can see, this is still burning hot. I don't know if you can see the steam, but let me see if I can do a taste test for you without burning my mouth. And that's all cheese. And I've got a little bit of that pasta skin also. And I've got a little bit of my stuffing, which has aloo and peppers, all of that. Chalo, that looks like a good, decent bite. If you hear me scream, that's because I just burnt my mouth. Oh yeah, it's hot, but tolerable, and it's perfect. If you like vegetables, I would say use a little less aloo and more of the other vegetables. You can add, like I said, corn, broccoli, celery is a good idea. So any pumpkin, any of those, whatever vegetable you want, doesn't really matter. It's your dish. This is not a dish that is a regular dish. I invented this dish. This is my version. So make it your own. Do whatever you like.
Instead of pasta, can we use brinjal or zucchini?
Instead of pasta? Sure. So I can give you, I can tell you how to do that also. It's not that hard. So if you take bada bangan, just say bharta banate, the large one, you can take that and you roast that slightly first to make it soft. Okay, you can't do it with raw bangan. So to roast it, what you want to do is slice it into thin, large circles and put a little slits in it, put some oil and salt and just roast on a tawa till you feel it's soft enough. When it's soft enough, take the same stuffing, put it inside the bangan and roll it. Make a roll of it, and that will not stay in place, of course. So take a toothpick and put a toothpick through it. Okay, so then you'll have a nice roll of bangan. Instead of the pasta roll, you'll have the bangan roll, which is an eggplant roll. That's also a great idea. So if you're on a low carb diet, this is probably coming from someone who is not eating rice and pasta, and I understand that a lot of people are doing that today. So if you use bangan, then obviously you don't want to use potatoes, which is fine. Use cheese and use vegetables, right? And no potatoes.
Someone's asking for the recipe.
The recipe, like I said, the detailed recipe is on the YouTube channel, The Chefpreneur. If you go look it up there under continental dishes, the detailed recipe is already there. So if you have any questions, just put a comment on that YouTube recipe and I will be very happy to respond to it.
That's it. There's no other question.
Okay, so I think we're coming up. Are we 30 minutes in?
Yes.
I think we're, that's our time for today. Any other questions, please put them in comments. I'll be very happy to answer later today. And thank you so much for watching again. And do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Namaskar.